So, I've heard the best way to improve at League of Legends is to watch your replays back and try and pick out your mistakes and where you went wrong. So, I'm going to test this theory by reviewing my replays, mostly of losses, and I'm going to see if I can get from gold to platinum. Now, I was platinum last season for a very brief period. I've always been silver gold mainly. I got to platinum last season mainly by playing only a handful of champions. I want to get back to platinum, if not diamond in the future, depending on how much I play. Let's just get this started here, and we'll go through together. And what I find on YouTube a lot is that people tell you what you need to be doing, like to climb, but it's just hard to put to practice. So I've never seen something like this really, when somebody's going to be learning themselves on how to review their own replays and trying to improve themselves genuinely, because I'm definitely not platinum standard at the moment. I'm currently ranked gold 5. This is a game from my promos to gold 4. It was the second, I think it was the second one out of 3. And yeah, and this did turn out to be a loss, and I'm going to try and find out what I could have done better. Playing Wukong, the enemy team have a Kog'Maw jungle, a Tryndamere top, Sona support, Ashe ADC, and Teemo. I think it's like a Teemo mid. Yeah, and we lost against this. So yeah, we'll soon see. Look at this Teemo. We'll soon see what I could have done better. So I've never really reviewed a replay before, so we'll see. Yeah, as I said, I'll just give it my best shot. So I'm starting blue side with Wukong. Normally I do blue, red, and then I will try and gank a lane if I'm high enough health. If I got a good enough pull, that is. I'm not that familiar with the replay system. I'm probably going to stay mostly on myself. I might drift to other lanes, because I was watching them during the game, but I couldn't really see what was going wrong. All I know is that the Teemo mid somehow beat the Malzahar. But yeah, I haven't. This was a few days ago, so yeah, we'll have to have a look and see what really went down. So just finishing up on the blue. I think I'm going to get the crab here just to get a bit more health back. Pretty good trick if you jungling with somebody who loses quite a bit of health early, like Wukong. As far as the other lane's going, bot's not starting that well, getting harassed down. Kog'Maw was just clearing his jungle. Mid pretty much, yeah, Malzahar pretty much gets beaten in lane. From what I remember, this Darius does beat this Tryndamere early, and then after he was ahead, he proceeded to walk around the map basically dying for no reason while Tryndamere was split pushing, catching up. That's all I really remember from this game, and I was just, I was a bit frustrated because I was not fed, but I was pretty far ahead. And yeah, so that's the first blood from Darius, and that's the start of him being ahead. So I thought the game was in the bag, and yeah, it goes quickly downhill as you soon see. I don't know whether I should skip like ahead and pick up bits. I probably should watch it all and exactly what I do and things like that. So I go to look at top, try and get some damage on him. Pretty good reactions from him, to be fair. But it is a Tryndamere, he can always just spin out the way. Maybe I shouldn't have gone top. Maybe what I should have done was go straight to mid and try and put some damage on that Teemo. He flashes there, so yeah, that's good. Flash gone down for Teemo. But yeah, I definitely think I should have maybe gone mid there or backed or just carried on farming, just because the Tryndamere wasn't going to die. He's always got his spin. He's always able to spin away, and he was already quite pushed, so that's probably my first mistake that I could have avoided. So here I just back. CS and lanes is fairly even across the board. Cogmore's quite a bit ahead of me at the moment in farm, just because he's been AFK in the jungle. I probably should have tried to hassle Cogmore after my first back a lot more than I did, but I didn't actually realise it was a Cogmore jungle. So here's Cogmore ganking mid, and he absolutely melts the Malzahar, but I managed to get there in time for the counter gank. Teemo luckily gets away, and Malzahar does die, so that wasn't too bad. I think I saw that coming because of how pushed Malzahar was and how aggressive he was being, so that wasn't too bad. Just failing some CS, don't mind me. So running into his jungle, warding. I think this is where I'm thinking, okay, maybe I should invade him at some point. So get a ward down, go to steal some jungle, and there is no jungle, so that was a bit of a waste of time. But I'm going to try and... so they saw me here. I didn't realise this. I'm not quite sure. I think they must have seen me because of the minion wave that was passing here. What I really should have done is looked at my own minion wave and seen that I should have waited before I walked across this gap. So that's another mistake. I could have had a free gank at bot there if I had just waited a few seconds for that minion wave to pass. So that's my second mistake there. So I continue to farm. As a Wukong, you want to get 6. He's pretty powerful, 6 and onwards. It's really just his very, very early jungle. His first clear, which is a bit sketchy. But yeah, overall pretty good jungler, especially if you get ahead. I'm 1 kill up already as well, which is nice. It's always nice to snowball on Wukong. So they know Cogmore's here at this point, and they're pinging to kill him, so Darius goes over to teach him a lesson, and they get the kill on Cogmore. So at this point, I think we're doing pretty well, but looking back, you know, I missed that free gank up bot, and I could have applied more pressure on my first gank by choosing the correct lane, by going mid instead of top. So yeah, looking back's pretty good so far. Here I'm just power farming to 6, so I can gank somewhere afterwards. I'll get 6 off of the Gromp, I think. Judging by the purple bar down here. Yeah, okay, so I'm 6 now. I can't remember what I do from this point. Get some health back on the old crab. Mr. Krabby. Probably should have just gone mid. Okay, yeah, I did go mid. Good. So yeah, we both... He shouldn't have probably ulted there. He could have just done his round of spells and Teemo would have still died. And he could have kept his ulti for when Teemo came back to lane. But, yeah, or maybe I should have expected him to ulti. So yeah, we both just... I feel like there was one ulti kind of wasted there. Cogmore still just melting his jungle away. He becomes a problem late game because of this. Cogmore's just got so much damage behind him. Darius is only... He's 8 or 10 farm nearly below the Tryndamere who he first blooded. And he's 2 kills ahead of him, and Tryndamere's still farming better. I think that's just down to bad CSing, I suppose. And I think he had a roam, or like he roamed somewhere at some point. So at this point, I'm thinking my ultimate's down. I'm going to clear my jungle, go back and buy, and then use my ultimate when it comes back up. So yeah, it looks everything's looking pretty good from this point, but yeah, it goes downhill quite drastically soon, as a lot of losses do. There's some action going on at top. Darius is thinking he can take on this Cogmore. I wouldn't be so sure. I give middle a visit just to see if I can stealth in and knock this Teemo out, but no, I think he had a ward or a mushroom or something. He sees me somehow, I can't remember how. So I'm here trying to invade a little bit because I've got red buff and ult. He has a ward here, which I didn't know about. He's very smart. He warded over, expecting me to come, and he just... when I did that, I assumed he hadn't just been there. Wow, I didn't know that. That's a shame. This is me trying to get another gank on here. I was just take the kill, like a hero I am. Ultimate to try and kill Conk before he can kill Mouse, and yeah, we get the double kill, but I think... yeah, so Cogmore's passive gets Mauser hard down, which is a shame, because that was pretty good for us. But yeah, that still was a fairly good trade, so... yeah, still doing well so far, but yeah, those mistakes... I could have been so much more ahead than I am now, if I didn't do those mistakes. CS at top lane gets even more further apart. Tryndamere just... I didn't really realise this Tryndamere was running about so much. I guess he's going to take my chickens, yeah. Yeah, I wasn't really aware of that. I should have probably seen that happening in top lane more and seen it coming and maybe caught him out with a ward or something. And also his ward, whenever he comes into my jungle, he's throwing a ward down, which is just giving them more vision on me. I just feel like I was being kept track of this game quite well. Bot lane is doing pretty well. Even CS. Having a look at mid there. Probably a waste of my time to go there, to be honest. They didn't have a ward, but with mushrooms and stuff, it's probably not that worth it unless Teemo's pushed up, which he isn't very often because he's against the Malzahar, who does this. He just pushes the lane constantly with his spells, so... I don't really know what I'm waiting for here. I think I was hoping Cogmore would come by at some point. Cogmore ganking bot. Flash saves the Morgana. Pretty well played. Managed to get away from that. Mouse floats up top. And they don't get the kill on Tryndamere. I tried to run around, but he's too smart. He doesn't stay in the bush. Unluckily, he goes all the way down here. And at this point, this is where, because we're both top, we lose the Ocean Drake. So, partly my mistake, partly Mauser's mistake. Probably should have had some vision on it, and yeah, that's not too much of an issue, but the Ocean Drake is pretty powerful. Especially, I quite like it early. It gives some nice regen out of combat for laners and stuff. Is it out of combat now? I can't remember actually. Let's have a look. Yeah, if not damaged by champions within 8 seconds. So yeah, it's more out of combat regen now. Here I go for the Tryndamere. He's nice and squishy, so I try to get some damage on him, but I think he gets away here. I'm not sure. Oh no, I think I actually get him. I seem to remember. Yeah. So at this point, I'm 5-0, and I've managed to get myself ahead, which is what Wukong's really all about. Cogmore's ahead of me in farm a little bit, and he's 2 and 3. So at this point, I still think we're doing pretty well, because I'm thinking I can stealth in every fight and just wipe out their whole squishy team. with my ult. So I figure that doesn't matter how far behind everyone else gets. Like this Malzahar, I wasn't too worried because I thought I could just carry. But that does happen to Malzahar too many times in the next few minutes. Kog'Maw would just walk into his lane because he's a ranged champion. Him and Teemo together, like the range damage just melts Malzahar before he can even get away. Oops. Here I go cover mid, get some free farm. Yeah, that looks fine. I didn't realise how many mushrooms Teemo had around his mid because I really hit them actually. I think I knew he was probably there because he walks down and I couldn't see him. So we all run around. This was an interesting one. So I thought, hey, we're going to get double kill box. There's so many of us going, but they see us somehow. I think they just I don't know if the Teemo pinged them back or whether I think our bot lane went a bit aggro and they probably figured we were all coming. So I try and run into the jungle and pick up whether the Ashe running about or something. And to be honest, I think I might have thought I found the Kog'Maw, but I see his top now taking the tower while we were bot. So he's using his time a lot better than I am. Yeah, at this point I'm not sure what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to run mid. I think they kill them. Yeah, they do well at top, but what? Yeah, they get 2 for 1, which isn't bad. I do engage onto this Tryndamere with my ult. Pretty wasted because it's just my ult for his ult, so I probably shouldn't have done that. I probably should have tried to go bot, or probably I should have just gone back and brought and tried to pressure another lane when they come back with my ultimate instead of wasting it on Trin. So this is pretty much where it starts to go downhill. Tryndamere is farming like an absolute beast. And he starts to get very strong along with their Kog'Maw. And Teemo is really annoying to play against. Like, Teemo is actually deceptively strong, especially against any champions that auto-attack. Kind of like Wukong's Q doesn't hit if Teemo blinds you. So it's a lot of your damage out the window. So, what happens there? One sec. I'm going to try and go back. So I'm farming. I want to know why I was low on health there. So I take the blue. Take the wolves. Because at this point I'm still pretty far ahead and I'm thinking I can still carry this. Because I tend to build quite a lot of AD on Wukong. What did I do there? I feel like I missed something. Or I was low around here. Oh, maybe I didn't. I'll go back to here then. So yeah, I know they're both in the jungle here. So I'm going to try and flank them because any of these two caught in my ult, they're pretty much dead, apart from maybe Teemo, who's got quite a lot of health. So I end up running around, getting caught by a mushroom, and not really getting there in time. I finally get there, get the ult on both of them, and I think no, okay, so I don't get the Teemo. Well, I don't get the Teemo. He does die, but I die as well. Bot lane, get a nice couple of kills here, I think. So, yep, this still looking alright for us, but their team really starts to scale on us. Tryndamere is still running around, farming everything. Tryndamere at 161, Darius 141. Tryndamere literally just runs all the way bot. Darius TPs to sort of counter him running in and killing both of our bot, which is good. I've gone back and brought some Merc Treads because of the amount of magic damage that they have, which, to be fair, Teemo is pretty much the only magic damage they have, so I'm not quite sure why I did that. Maybe another minor mistake there that I could correct. Here we pick up a nice red dragon, and while that happens, Malzahar dies mid to Teemo. Lovely jubbly. Darius does run the wrong way though and get caught. I think here I'm still looking for a fight. I'm waiting for one of them to get out of position, which does kind of happen. This Sona is like, I tried to charge her over the wall. Oh yeah, no, okay, I do get it. Because I seem to remember at the time, it kept pathing me around. And I ulted her there, where I really didn't need to. I could have kept that and carried on pressuring these two here with my ult. So I could have maybe had an extra kill or two out of that. Considering more kits are binding. Okay, so I come back in, Mork dies. So 1 for 1, when that I could have been there with my ult if I hadn't have used it on Sona unnecessarily. So that would have been a completely different story if I didn't do what I did. I think I wait here hoping someone's going to come. Jinx eats say Ash Arrow. I still get Ash, but Teemo blind, too strong, and I get finished up by Teemo, so 2 for 1. This is when the score starts to even up, and if you notice the gold difference, we're ahead in kills, but they have 2 more towers and they've got better farm than us as well. Malzahar decides to take my red, which is fucking amazing on a character like Malzahar. Not really. He was being a little bit toxic actually, but yeah, whatever. Still on my death timer. So I'm still keeping up quite well with Kog'Maw's farm, considering he's farming quite a bit, but at the moment he's picked up a lot of kills and a lot of assists, and he's got his first 3 items, his Blood Razor, his Runans and his Wit's End. Teemo gets killed by the Morgana. Darius dies just needlessly again. This is, if you notice, Darius' score 4-5-2 now. He started off really well with in lane, but just started to make silly decisions, which didn't help. I'm still optimistic about this game at this point, but very soon I start to lose hope. Because they just, if you notice, they start to group up and they just start to push and just kill everyone because we don't react fast enough. And as they do that, Tryndamere keeps split pushing. And split pushing Tryndamere is just a pain up the arse because they can run away very easily and they can also fight 1v1 very well and 2v1. So I couldn't decide what I wanted to do, whether it was to try and force team fights or go up there to Tryndamere, because even though I'm ahead of Tryndamere, I wouldn't kill him 1v1. Well, I don't know even if if I'm ahead in gold at this point against him, because he's got so much farm. So now they are 5 towers against our 2, with a 5k gold lead, and I could definitely feel it at this point. But I was hoping that we could just group and I could get a good ult on like 3 of them, and they would pretty much just melt. Malzahar trying to take some more jungle for himself. I didn't realise Malzahar's build at this point. He's got a Morello Nomicon and a Banshee's Veil. That's interesting. I did wonder why we had not much damage, but Banshee's Veil on Malzahar, that seems a bit like stupid. Like, doesn't it? He basically already has a free Banshee's Veil. So I'm still 9-3-2. So I'm looking at my score thinking, oh yeah, I'm doing all right. Without seeing really what I needed to do in the game. Nice. So again, I ulted, then Mao's ulted, but I still managed to pick up both the kills just because Wukong's damage and mobility with his E charges. Here I start to steal some of their jungle. They chase the Tryndamere for no reason. And we give Baron a go. Because you've got a Malzahar, you might as well go for the Baron. Probably should have been there a little bit quicker on my part. I think we get this here. Tryndamere comes in, absolutely. Actually, he one-shots Jinx with that auto attack. Okay, yeah, we don't get this. This is where we lose the game. So, let's try and re-watch that. We're at 26. So this is the pivotal point. Jumped a bit too far back. Too far forwards. I'm so confused. Excuse my simpletonness with controlling this. So yeah, we'll watch this part again from this part. So we pick up the Teemo and the Sona, which is good, even though Malzahar did just... He just hits his ult like as soon as someone's near someone to kill. I think he's a bit desperate to get the kills because he is behind. So, I should have probably run up to Baron straight away because somebody did ping it at that point. I do run up there fairly quickly. Bear in mind, their Sona and Teemo are dead at this point. You've got the Mal's minions tanking the Baron, so I thought, yes, free Baron, we're gonna get this. Tryndamere literally need one-shots Jinx. Kog'Maw comes in, melts two people, and Tryndamere, that they literally 2v5 or 2v4 4 or 5 us just through the amount of damage they've got. And that is the mistake we made. I think the Baron call was a correct one, but we could have maybe done something about the Tryndamere before he one-shots the Jinx. And there's not much I could have done because I didn't have my ultimate. If I'd have had my ultimate, I think I'd have gone straight for the Tryndamere or Kog'Maw. And from that point onwards, there's another 5 minutes of this game. This is when everyone's starting to flame each other because, you know, things just aren't going our way. So it looks like the main mistakes I made I could have been more ahead and I could have been more attentive to the fact that it was a Kog'Maw jungle. But he was fairly smart at warding by the looks of it. That's probably why I couldn't find him very often in his jungle. But yeah, those early mistakes, and like I've got Merc Treads. I think I might have gotten Merc Treads purely because of Teemo's blind. And at this point, I'm just clutching at straws, trying to get kills and try and get some pressure on the map. But at this point, they've got the Baron. They're too far ahead. I think I'll probably leave it there for now. I don't think we need to watch the rest because we know we've lost. From this point, it's just all just tilt and mistakes. I think I end like my score ends at like 12, 5 and 3. So they must end fairly soon. I'll pause there. Alright, so that was my first attempt at my own like rewatching a game that I lost. So they're the kind of things I think you want to be looking for, is especially as a jungler, are you using your time efficiently? Where could you have been better used? And, you know, little mistakes like maybe building slightly too much MR when there isn't as much magic damage. But yeah, it's an unfortunate game because I was really far ahead and just wasn't... I think I was too confident at the start when I was a few kills ahead. I might have to try some Cogmore Jungle myself because he did a lot of damage. Just and at the point he had at the end, he had like a frozen mallet and a wit's end, and it actually makes him quite tanky. Like his health pool is larger because of that, and he kills you so quick. I mean, I could probably still 1v1 him if I had my ultimate at this point, maybe. I mean, he is fairly powerful now with the Baron buff and whatnot, but. Yeah, I might have to try some of that myself. I think as long as you're smart enough and don't get invaded, Cogmore Jungle's probably pretty strong at the moment, and you know you can probably play him all the way up to high diamond, I imagine, just like most cheesy junglers. Right then, I'll leave it there, guys. Give me some feedback. I still will be doing my Path of Exile videos. I play all different games at the moment. I play Path of Exile, a bit of Overwatch, bit of League, and I just want to basically try and make content for maybe all three